Alright guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. This is Total War. So I just finished watching the third and final battle display, and this time the siege battle of Total War Pharaoh. Been watching Lionheart's videos here to see and get a grasp on what we do have in front of us. So I just kind of making this video wanting to try to summarize a few of my thoughts here on what we have seen the past few days. And while doing so, of course, it's Saturday evening, so enjoying my beer while I do so. So first off, I just want to say that all the videos that has been coming out the past few days has been very mixed, at least from what I have seen, in regards on how both the community as a whole has responded to the release of gameplay and the announcement of Total War Pharaoh. And many, myself included, think was kind of caught by surprise. I didn't really see this one coming. Well, we do know that the Sophia team that's behind Total War Pharaoh and that was behind Total War Saga Troy, that they were done with their project and had moved on to other ones. But with that being said, I did not think that the next announcement would be this game or even a game from the Sophia team. I was expecting probably Three Kingdoms 2, or I was really hoping for the announcement of the next big release, like Empire 2 or Medieval 3, whatever game it might be in development. I still think there's a bigger title in development. There's a lot of evidence for it, and I still have my hopes up that we will hear something about it before the end of this summer. I think that would make sense. Usually even the bigger titles has been announced, it has been like a year prior to release, so giving us some sort of a teaser or something like that before like the late of August or September, but when they start switching over again to start marketing Pharaoh more heavily. But that remains to be seen, but I still have my hopes up. I really have my hopes up to see a larger title being released like next year in say May or maybe August or something like that. So with that being said, I just think that a lot of us were caught off guard and a bit surprised that this was the next announcement. But with that being said, Total War Pharaoh, I think that's an interesting era. And once we heard about it and once we understood that this is the game from the Sophia team, and now after watching the interviews with the devs and these battles displays, I can't say I'm too surprised on how things look, to be honest. A game coming from the Sophia team just a couple of years later from the release of Troy, I didn't expect it to actually look anything other than Troy. I mean, if we look back, this has been the case with almost every other title. Going back to the first release of Shogun, when the Medieval Total War was released, that was essentially a reskin of Shogun Total War. When Medieval 2 was released, that was essentially a reskin from Rome Total War. Napoleon, a reskin from Empire pretty much, and so on and so forth. So in that sense, it doesn't surprise me at all how the game looks in these videos. I expected it to look like Troy, and I expect it to feel very much like Troy. But what I'm hoping for is to see an enhanced version of the Troy game, because I did really enjoy Troy. I really did. But at the same time, how should I explain this? I think Total War Saga Troy was a good game that I enjoyed playing a campaign in. But it wasn't a great game. And for me, the difference between a good game and a great game, a good game is like Total War Saga Troy is a game where I spent like, I think I had only 120 hours or so in that game. For a game to be a great game, I would be wanting to, there would be something that would want me to come back and play more campaigns, and getting to like 1,000 hour plus in the game. And that's just not the case with Total War Saga Troy. It's been quite a while since I finished my Achilles campaign, and I have honestly not felt even slightest interest to go back to it. Maybe I will at some point or another, I don't know. I wouldn't never say never. But still, I think Total War Saga Troy was a good game with many good things in it. And I think it, especially on the campaign map, the campaign map, the feel of it, the looks of it, the ambience of it, I think it was great. I think they introduced a lot of interesting mechanics, like the resource economy, the barter system. They made good different faction mechanics, I think. So they did a lot of good things with the game. But what's keeping Total War Saga Troy from being a great game for me was the battles. And Total War has always been about the battles. So in order to make it a great Total War game for me, the battles needs to be great. And that wasn't the case with Total War Saga Troy. And there's a few things to that. Mostly, I would say, just the general appearance of it. It looked too pretty. It looked good, but it looked just too pretty, I think. I want it to look darker, more gritty, so you get the more of a feel of a proper battlefield, you know. And the animations, yeah, they just swung their swords and spears in the air, and all of a sudden a unit died, like kind of like that. And the collisions didn't look very well, and stuff like that. So there was a lot of these things. I wouldn't call them small things, but a lot of these things that made the battles overall didn't feel as enjoyable. For example, let's say compared to Total War Attila, which, you know, is my favorite Total War game. But obviously we will see a couple of changes. I think there will be, after looking at these battles, the matched combat are back, so to speak. And that actually, from what I've seen so far, it does look better. I still wouldn't say I think it looks great, but I think it looks better. The city layout we have in front of us here looks like a good amount of fun, to be honest. The city layouts and the overall feel of the cities in Total War Saga Troy was kind of... I didn't enjoy them very much. But it looks like we are getting the good things with Troy, and the bad things of it, but I think we will get a lot of, it looks like we are getting a lot of improvements. Will that make Total War's Pharaoh a great game? That remains to be seen. If I would say at this very moment, probably not. Probably not, to be honest, but I still think it's going to be a fun game. I really do. Even though I don't know everything about the various campaign mechanics that is going to be introduced, I've heard a few of them now. In this sense, I kind of trust the devs here, because they did a great job with that with Total War Saga Troy. So I don't expect anything less than that. And with the small battle improvements, yeah, it will probably be a fun game, and I will certainly play it. I really liked what the devs said about. They said something similar, that they are not looking for an easy way out for the player in the campaign. That sentence kind of stuck on me because I really like that. You know me by now. I think I really do enjoy a good challenge in a Total War game, and that is very much needed for me to feel that it's an enjoyable experience. But we'll see. I will put my name to the test in the game, and I will also put the game to the test towards my name. And then we'll see. So overall, trying to summarize, I do look forward to the release of Total War Pharaoh and see what the game has to offer, but I don't hold my breath on anything at this moment, and I won't bother too much thinking about it from now on until we get to release, because you know, I need to play the game myself to really make up my mind and see how I feel about it when I play it. So I will just continue to enjoy my other campaigns in the other Total War games. We have the release of Diablo 4. Really have been looking forward to that, so we'll be sharing my playthrough with that as well, probably, and just enjoy that over the summer. So, and then we'll see where Total War Pharaoh gets us. Feels like I have been mostly rambling here, but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts, and I'm curious to know about your thoughts as well. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you look forward to Total War Pharaoh? Will you play it, or are you waiting for the release and reviews and stuff like that? Or how do your thoughts go, basically? Alright guys, that's it for this video. I want to thank you very much for watching. If you happen to enjoy the video, please leave that like. If you didn't, feel free to leave it a dislike. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel as well. Not only do you help my channel grow, but you also help out my charity project for Suicide Zero. And until next one, have a good one.